Well, hello again. Dread Mechanic here. And today, this stream is going to be part 1 of my Armored Core Mark III build stream, which, as you can see from the great big thing behind me, is kind of mostly done. And that's because I was lazy. And I retrofitted parts of my Mark II and start designing some more humanoid-like legs for it. I've also reshaped a few little bits here and there. Head, shoulders, legs are totally new. I made a set of great big assault cannon handgun things for it, which I've retrofitted from the old Gatling pistols that I made for the Mark II. And yeah, I'm just currently in the middle of playing with some ideas. This one's got big Gatling turrets as opposed to the others. No railguns for this one. That's why he's got the dual assault cannon pistol things instead. Which I'm pretty sure, yeah, they still need lots of things renaming. But what I want to do at the moment is I want to reshape the feet a little bit, because biggest problem with humanoid feet is human beings are designed in a really strange way in years, and the way our legs work aren't that intuitive compared to other creatures. And an inherent problem you have with bipeds is feet dragging, particularly dragging heels and dragging toes when you don't want them to. That's why human beings are always falling over and tripping over their own feet, because they're designed stupid. So, for the early model, I just gave it big, flat, pancake feet, because I just wanted it to be able to support its own weight and balance a little bit. And it does walk, and it does balance, and it does work pretty well. Once we've got some distance, we're not going to crash into something. But it does work fairly well, but you can see those feet, the back ones drag, because it is a pain in the arse trying to make the feet stay level the entire time. It's a lot of faff trying to do that vanilla style. So what I'm going to try and do is make some feet that have moving toes, potentially a moving heel as well. That was an idea I was working on, although the foot is a little bit skinnier compared to that, so I'm trying out a fatter idea, which I'm actually liking a bit better. I'm going to have this section lift up when the foot moves forward, and then when the foot comes back down, that can drop down, and that'll hopefully stop the toes catching on the floor as the foot swings forward. Done this design on other mechs before. I know it works. It's all just a case of getting all your angles and shapes right, because it took a little bit of faffing to find the right angle for the legs to sit comfortably in a default position and be fairly level with the floor. You can see there's a little bit of forward lean, but that probably helps, to be honest, because it's got the massive subgrid jetpack thruster rig on the back. But yeah, I want to try and make some moving feet, and I want to make them look a bit more anime robots than just big flat pancake foot, because that does the job, but it kind of looks crap. There's no point trying to build anime robots if you're just going to make them look crap. Oh yeah, that won't fit in there because that's... yeah, that'll do for now, whatever. So, we've got these hinges. That can be butt hinge L01. Probably won't need shear inertia to try. Oh hey Lone Wolf, how you doing man? Good morning. Or middle of the afternoon for me. I was lazy and slept in all night because I was... slept in all day rather, because I was up all night pissing about with this thing until the early hours of the morning when I should have just gone to bed. So I've had quite a late start to the day, but how are you man? Are you good? So let's say it's going to take a hell of a lot of weight, so let's call it 5 million for now. We can always increase it later. So, on that, yeah. So the upper limit wants to be 0. How far back can we get that without it clanging? That's a little bit too far. So we'll call it 30. Say minus 30. Minus 12. And that can hopefully lift up and give us a bit of floor clearance. I may have to change that though. As cool as it looks, I've got a feeling that is going to snag on the floor. Make it like that for now. Ooh, oh, we can do that. I didn't think about that. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that angle. So if we call that L01, call that one L02, and that is the front hinge for our foot. Yeah. No. That is going to require more event controllers, because I want all of this stuff to be automated. Can we? Oh, we can squeeze one in there. Squeeze it in there though. Will it look better further down? Can we get it further down? Not really, because of that angle. Yeah, it's gonna have to live there. That can be controller foot L01. I want to do a heel as well though, don't I? Front left 01. Oh, you're getting ready for work, are you, man? What's that? You may have a stable footing design figured out, but yeah, that's it. You can think about stuff all day long and then test out and go, oh, that doesn't work in the slightest. What was I thinking? Or you can try something out on a whim and go, bloody hell, that actually worked surprisingly well. But you never do know until you actually get around to testing it. This is why when I build mechs now, like, I'll like roughly sketch out an idea, chop it down, test it out, let it walk around a bit, and if it works, delete it out of the game and carry on with the one that I've got up on a rig, because I have done it before where I've spent hours and hours and hours meticulously building something, making it look cool, dropping it to the floor, and then realising none of it works at all. And there are serious fundamental flaws I've made and have to start again from scratch, and that's really boring. So testing is key. Yeah, it sucks that you've got to go to work on a Saturday, man. That's not fun. I loathe working in general. Too much effort. I'd like to just stay in the house and pursue creative things that I'm actually interested in. So, right, we've got that controller, we've got that foot. We need a light to trigger the controller. Where should we put a light to trigger things? What blocks have we got and where? If I chop that out, I could put a... like there, like that. Or I could put like there, like that. That looks kind of dope. You know what? I like that idea, I think. Ooh, actually. Oh yeah, that's a full block space. Forgot about that. And let's do an inset light and slap a bit of that over the top to cover it up and keep the shape a little bit. Yeah, I'm happy with that, that'll do. Alright, let's colour those toes. Make it look like he's got frostbite. Ooh, actually, we could also yeah, it is. It's always a good idea to make your idea work first, and then make it look cool afterwards. Once you know it works, you can do whatever you like with it. But yeah, articulation in the ankle, that's also a problem. Because I've tried endlessly to make a more articulated mech by putting hips, putting hinges in the hip as well so the legs can move side to side. And doing the same with the ankles so that you can like angle the legs out, and all it ends up doing is adding way too many subgrids to the whole thing, and it ends up being a wobbly mess. Because once you get past like 3 subgrids, things start getting real jiggly. Like, the reason I haven't put hinges in the wrists of the hands so that they can move left and right as well as turn is because that one extra subgrid turns that whole arm into just a janky, wobbly, crazy mess. It's already pretty much at its limits, especially considering rotors only go to 1,000,000 torque. It's frustrating as hell. Even with a rotor mod that I've got, I still can't adjust those advanced rotors past 1,000,000 torque, and it pisses me off. Because it's just so weak compared to hinges. But yeah, too many subgrids makes things janky and wobbly. Luckily these things are only small, not supporting any weight, so the fingers on there don't really make much of a difference, and that gun is locked down by a small connector as well as a hinge rotor, so it doesn't mess with that too much. It adds a hell of a lot of extra mass to this rotor, which gets a bit upset, but what can you do? Except beg and plead Keen to make rotors stronger. Please, Keen, if you are listening, if you are watching, make rotors stronger. Make them as strong as hinges, please. Vanilla hinges are fine. I've never had an issue with vanilla hinges. It's just the rotors. They're too weak. Little baby arms. Fine if you're doing small stuff like a turret, but if you're trying to do a great big robot arm, 1,000,000 torque really isn't that much. Yeah, so we do something like that. Then suspension for the front of this foot. Options are do I want to put it on the bottom like that, or do I want it to sit a bit further up? Because that's going to be seated quite high now. Or we could that cover over the sides a little bit maybe. Don't like that graphical bug, that's annoying. Because we could potentially set up like that. Yeah, and then I can cover over the toes with something like that, or something like that, maybe. That looks kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, we can do something like that. Quite like that. And the side of that looks shit. And I'm not going to be able to cover that properly because it's a one block gap. Yeah. Oh well, it's not like you can really see in between the toes properly anyway. Armour plates then. You're really just going to sit there flickering and annoying me, aren't you? Yes, you are. Unless I cover you up. Sneaky bit of greeble. There you go, now I don't have to look at the horrible flickering. Oh, I didn't set up mirror mode for this foot, did I? Oh well. Left foot. Something like that. Oh, hello, another message. What's that? Feel that one thing you did to stabilise the subgrids is just add one gyro. Yeah, gyro overrides and subgrids can smooth stuff out. The only issue I have with doing stuff like that is you end up with a load of different gyroscopes fighting each other. Because that's an issue I have at the moment with the gyro system I'm using in these mechs. They've all got a bunch of gyroscopes in them on override to keep them as level as possible without tipping over. But they've also got another set of gyroscopes on with overrides on, mounted on a big feckin' rotor. And that shifts the weight of the rotor head against the weight of the mech and makes it all turn. But the override forces generated by these rotors fight against these ones. Like, if I turn all of these ones off, this thing will spin on a dime in a second. But it will topple straight over because there's not enough override generated by these to keep it level. And it's just an annoying balancing act. Like, I'm on the one that mounted up, I can't really show you, but yeah, gyros and overrides on subgrids can be helpful in certain situations. If using something like a great big thing, it'd probably be quite beneficial, but I've noticed on smaller designs, having multiple grids with override controls on can get a little bit weird. It's quite helpful for putting on feet. Go like that. And what did we have over here? We had not that one. Or that one. That's the one. And something like that. And was I weird and OCD about stuff? I can't help but overgreeble things. Let's do that there. Just because I like little details that I know are there, but no one else will notice. That is going to piss me off. There is nothing I can do about that. Other than make the foot even wider. Oh god, I don't want to do that. Right, so that's... let's steal colour settings from that light and stick it on there. Put light FL01 because we're going to have one on the front and one on the back. Or them front left. Right, so let's set up that foot controller. Where are we? Let's see what we're doing. Right, foot controller. Block switched on and off. Foot light will be the trigger for it when it does stuff. The foot hinges will reverse, 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 and reverse. So when I flick that light on and off, it'll make the toe section move. Cool. Pressing button 3. There we go. hopefully that gives us a bit of clearance when the foot swings. I just need to tie that. Oh, no worries, man. Try having fun at work. And yeah, cheers for dropping by, dude. Yeah, see you in a bit, dude. Right. Yeah, right, so walk controller forward L01. When that light turns on, the foot light wants to turn off. And when that gets triggered, the foot light wants to turn back on again. So, as we push forward, it does nothing. As we lift forwards, the toe lifts. And that didn't work quite properly. Oh, it's because I've got it set up backwards, you idiot. Foot hinges. Let's just reverse both of them there, and then that should work now. It was just backwards. Lift, down. Lift, down. Right, they need to move a little bit slower. But let's make them move 8 instead. So, I've just managed to get them backwards again, haven't I? Oh no. Looks a little bit better. Right, well, we'll go with that for now. We may even end up chopping off some of that. Or we may end up extending the foot further down, I'm not sure yet. But, for now, the next thing is the heel side of things. Oh yeah, I want that to be flat really. Yeah, better. Right, so we want that in the middle. We want one there. Oh, hang on, no we don't. We haven't sorted out the back end of this foot like we did the front end. Like that. It will also help if I put my remote back on. There we go. There we go. What we got going on here? What that? What that? No. Ooh. Might be able to squeeze in a second thruster down there. Two side by side maybe. Oh shit, yeah, I need to... Yeah, I can't move the foot out any further than that, 'cause I need to bear in mind the thrusters I want to put on it later. Yeah, you know what, so we'll go with that for now. We have them that far out? Yeah, we did. Right, so let's take the end off that one. Let's copy that entire grid, because that's going to make life easier. Chop and chop. Copy that. Where are we? Cool. And then pop in a hinge head. And attach that back up. There we go. Right. That's basically going to be the heel side of the foot. That should give it a decent amount of balance. Oh yeah, copy and pasting subgrids doesn't copy the wheels. Alright, you're all done. Cool. That gets the footlight RL01. Copy settings, copy all. That can be rear left 01. That can. Wrong button. I need to get a new mouse. Build Vision. Build Vision uses the middle mouse roller too much, and my middle mouse roller is now wearing out, mostly because of this game. RL02. Cool, right. Let's just greeble up the sides of this to match the other side. What was it? Yeah. It was one of them. One of them. One of them. One of them. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Alright, then we just need to stick another event controller in the back of here. Yeah. Settings from that. Copy all. That can be rear left 01. I think I might have to cut some stuff back. Or might have to reshape the foot at some point, but for now, let's stay as it is. Right, so what is that like? Yeah. walk. Oh, I just set up the other foot controller. RL01, block on off. Put white RL01. Hinge RL. Reverse, 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 reverse. So, light off does that, light on does that. Off, on, cool. Right. Walk. Oh, that's the arm rotor, that's fine. So yeah. Put white RL01. Turn that off. Put light RL01, turn back on. I don't actually think that's going to help as much as I was hoping. Oh, it's hard to tell with all the mechs in the way. Well, the only way to really figure this out is to do the same thing to the other foot. See what it's like. It's like to chop all of this nonsense off. So you're gonna rebuild the foot from scratch. Why is that foot thruster on? It shouldn't be on. Well, the shite is in the way. That's in the way. So why did we do this? Ooh, or we could if I copy that, hopefully my game doesn't explode or do weird clangy stuff like it was doing yesterday. Ah, there we go. It's fine. Yesterday, none of my landing gear blocks were working properly. They kept clipping through the floor and then clanging off some unknown thing underneath the surface of the earth. And then they would spring back up and launch my mech 40 feet into the air. And then it'd come crashing back down and the landing gear would clip back through the floor again. And I'm still not sure what was going on. We're in the middle of that. It's hard to tell when everything's the same colour. Why won't you paste? You're in the way of that, aren't you? Yeah. Turn that on. That why you wouldn't post? Why won't you post? Oh, because the... Fine. 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 In that case, let's just stick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it this way instead. Just chop all of that off. Go, that way will do. Oh, for God's sake, there's an air show on today, isn't there? That's why I can hear all those planes outside of my window. Note to self, if you live in a seaside town that's half a mile from an Air Force base, you will regularly have to deal with planes being very, very loud. And it's completely overcast, so I don't know what anyone's looking at. Right, so that is more or less copied and pasted. Turn back to its default position. That gets to be FR. That gets to be FR01 because it's on the inside. I'm pedantic like that. FR02. That gets to be RR02. R01. 02. 02. Yeah, I think I may end up needing to make the feet taller. So, foot controller. Oh, I forgot to name one properly. Is it you? It is you. Right, there you go, all the names line up. But front right 01. Block switched on and off. Foot light front right 01. What? How did you set this up? I'm mad, I don't remember setting that up. Oh, wait, hang on, what have I done? I've set it up apparently. Apparently I am indeed going completely mad. What controller, rear right, 01. Oh, it's because I copied and pasted the foot, of course it's already set up, you idiot. I'm going mad. Thought there was some weird magic going on then, but no, it's because I've copied and pasted it from the other side. Right, so they all work then. So it's a case of... What did we do with the left foot control? Footlights off, footlights on. So, foot lights. Footlight off, footlight off. Yeah. And foot light back on. Alright, test that, see how that works. Let's delete some of these other mechs though before my game explodes. What else can we get rid of? I want to keep you around just in case for that wing setup. I still want to adapt that into something. Save you, get rid of you, get rid of that. 78 can go away for a bit. Ooh, that's significantly improved the performance. You can get deleted. There we go. It's loads better. Oh my god, I wish those aeroplanes would be quiet. Right, there we go. Cool. Let's give this new foot system a little test. Don't go weird and spaz through the floor, thank you. Oh yeah, I might need to change some of the settings on the new suspensions, which all need renaming. Suspensions don't need steering, don't need propulsion, don't need power because we're not driving anywhere. Let's give it full strength and yeah, let's see how well this works then. Yeah. Still having the same problem. And the front foot's not lifting. Why is the foot light at the front not lifting? Oh. Oh, right. Oh, no, no. Why is that not lifting? Why have I called that light RR02? 01. There. Right, so it is reacting. Oh. Right. Oh, you fucking idiot, that's why. Thought light, I'm turning on and off the wrong light. And that goes forwards. Front right, 01, to turn off. Idiot. And now it's not turning off because I put the wrong thing on the other walk controller, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, it actually seems to be helping now. Now they've actually got the foot sorted out properly. Let's move you a bit further back. I'm just going to get stuck. I also need to set up the default for the walk off so that your feet don't do stupid stuff. So walk off. Turns everything off. That's the leg lights. Foot lights need to all turn back on when we stop walking. There we go. Oh, that did some stupid stuff there. It shouldn't have done. He's much bouncier now, isn't he? We need to make the feet heavier. Or maybe. Oh sure, I know if it's sensor on there. What does that do? His feet aren't dragging as much. But he is a lot bouncier. Might just be a weight issue. Your feet drag quite a bit. You're 457. 245. Where the hell did that number come from? 245. You're 241. Right, so you've lost 4 tons of weight from the way I've redesigned the feet. I don't think I actually need share inertia tensor on. But those, that just seems ridiculous. Hang on. Into the feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 million each. They're a bit sturdier. Is that a bit less bouncy? I think the feet just need to be heavier in general, but they're lifting better and they are not slamming the floor and they are not catching nearly as badly. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that, so I just need to update the walk cycle. So, forward on. Oh yeah, that's controllers I haven't set up yet. Set all them up. Let's move that to there, and then add the footlights back in as a failsafe just to make sure they don't move into silly positions, and then start footlight. Those are all things from the old system that got deleted. I can't remember what they are. Arms, walk cycle. Yeah. Let's turn that on there instead, just to make doubly sure the feet don't do any weird nonsense before the walk cycle actually starts. We'll turn them on there as well. They're definitely a bit better. Definitely not catching as much, but we are considerably bouncier. But I'd rather be bouncy than dragging my feet. Oh, yeah, I know why it's lost a hell of a lot of weight. Because I cut thruster out of each foot. Let's put those thrusters back. So we need a line down the middle as the divider. And then some thrusters. One there. Turn that off. Turn that off. Right, do the same thing. Yeah. Delete that. Down the middle to connect to just all the buttons, as always, go away. One there. While we're here, let's name them. Thruster L01. You can turn it off. But thruster L02. You can also get turned off. But thruster R01. And there's just enough room to crawl under there. Cool. That can be R02. I think we need to add a little bit more weight to these feet. To stop it bouncing as much. Actually, no, I liked that better because those two angles complement each other quite nicely. We could maybe stick a bit of that under there and have some of them going across. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 of them. Couple of them. Yeah. If I turn that on, how much space is in that gap? Not a massive amount. There's enough to squeeze that in. We cover that up without clanging too much. Cool. Yeah, that'll do. So if that works over there, that'll work over here, because it's just copied and pasted settings. That is, of course, the wrong thing. That should work. Those spots too. Now, do we want it to be spiky or do we want it to be more covered? Let's have it more covered. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, I'm not gonna get another layer on top of there. Nah, that's gonna clip into there, and I don't want to mess with that angle too much. So that can just be like that. That can just be like that. That's fine. Now, the front of these legs, I'm not super happy with. Would I add a little bit more interest to it? What about... Bloody... Half a lot of those shapes. Can't do it like that. Do it like that. Yeah, take that out, put that there, use that instead. A bit more interesting. I'll do for now. Let's do a little bit more in here. Add a bit more weight, a bit more support. For God's sake. just find the right angle? There we go. Ah, I'm stuck. Maybe not. Maybe do that. And have that in the middle. Right, same thing here then. And chop that out. Chop that out. Chop that out. Chop that out. Cool. Right, let's see how that walks with that added weight. There we go, he's a little less bouncy now. Might need to make his walk cycle a little bit slower. Put him back down to 35. Give him a second to rest in between his steps. That turn gyro is not particularly strong. You might need another one. What's the white gyros doing? They're all on and on overrides. How many of them is there? Bloody loads of them. Why is there one named 47 that's not been named properly? Where are you? Oh, I've not put a smegging antenna on you yet, have I? Hang on, no, you should have an antenna. Yes, you do. Oh, turn the signals off, that's fine. Why are you not showing up? Gyro 47 was it? Go on hood please. Toggle lock on, what are you doing? Oh, can I not see them in spectator mode? Really? Why can't I see this fucking signal? Outside of the cockpit? Oh, have I set... Have I turned the broadcasting off somehow? Yes. Halved. Number 47. Oh great, there's a number missing. Right gyros. Yay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 is missing, that's why. God only knows why. So, what happens if I turn all of them off? How well do you walk without then? Ooh, there you go. You are not quite as stable. You turn much nicer, but you're a little bit on the wobbly side. Yeah, no. If we... How many warp gyros have we got? I've got 18 gyros for the warp control. And we've got all of these flight gyros left over from the old system. I'm not convinced I'm going to need them all. Take the first 10. Turn them on. That means we've got 28 warp gyros. Yeah. That's just part of the problem with balancing bipeds. 1, 2. That's 38 gyroscopes with override controls. It's not too bad. What if I... What if I cut out all of these, because I might not actually need them. Then, if we just use some of the flight gyros, there is 46 of them. Right, that is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, right. Turn them all on and off a few times. Just turn that all on and off a few times, get that. Right, so let's save before anything clangtastic happens. Hello, Davir Henko. I hope I haven't completely butchered that. I'm not very good with names. But yeah, hey dude. Right, so no walk gyros at all, other than the control gyro in the middle, and it will go over like a sack of shit. As would be expected, with no gyro overrides. So if we slap on, we've got 46, so let's do we had 30 before, let's do 30. Turn on 30 of them. Right, 30 seems reasonably stable. Ooh, he's a little bit tippy forward now though. No, I haven't got any degrees on anything. I'm just really invested in this game. I really enjoy playing it because it is the only game I know of that I can build robots in to this degree. Or to this level, rather. There's lots of mech related games out there, but they're mostly just games where you play in a mech and shoot things. Whereas Space Engineers has pretty much all the bits and pieces I need to build my own robots, and I quite enjoy doing it. And I have many different kinds of robots that I've built over the years, and a few ships and things as well. But yeah, I'd really like playing Space Engineers. And I know quite a few other people that do too. Yeah, so you're actually quite tippy forwards now with those big heavy guns. You know what? Oh, cheers, man. Yeah, well, my whole mission with these Armored Core things that I'm doing at the moment is trying to make them as vanilla as possible. They are like 99.9% vanilla. The only thing that's not vanilla is a mod that increases rotor strength, because vanilla rotors are pathetically weak. Annoyingly, the mod I've got doesn't work on the small advanced rotors. They're still locked to a max of 1,000,000 torque, which is fine if you're building like a little turret thing like this. Like the default rotor settings are fine for that, but when you start like building gigantic things like this, 1,000,000 torque just is not enough. So that is the only mod that is in here at the moment. There's no modded blocks in this in the slightest, it's all vanilla blocks. There's lots of DLC bits in there, like the cool new little cameras and various other bits, but yeah, it's all vanilla. These ones are, at least. I've got 2 more over here that I've been playing with. There is a few scripts in there to do the interior screens, but if you were playing this without scripts, you could just replace them for whatever inbuilt ones you wanted. None of the screens that have got scripts displayed on them have got anything that's vital. It's all just displaying system information. So you could easily replace them with just text screens and whatever. But yeah, they all work pretty well. They've all got a few quirks and a few issues. This one I'm still working on. This one's a little bit slow to turn because I haven't got a lot of room for bits and pieces, and I might actually have too many override gyros on him. And yeah, I need to redesign his feet a little bit because he catches on the floor, but he flies as well. And I've been experimenting with vanilla ways of doing like reactive limbs, so that like all the body parts move in response to control inputs. He was the first prototype, so he's a little bit slow and a little bit janky and slightly tippy backwards. That's the Mark II. He's a bit more over the fucking top. And he's got a 4-leg system. And his feet are being a little bit clangy today. But yeah, and this one can fly as well. Although he's getting a little bit heavy now, I might need to give him some more vertical thrusters. But yeah, he's a bit more over the top with the limb control system that I've been playing with. He's got lots of different positions depending on what keyboard inputs you use. And his top half is a separate subgrid from the bottom half, which comes with all of its own pros and cons. But he's also quite heavy at this point, so he's a little bit sluggish to fly. But it doesn't help that he's got 4 legs. Yeah. And they've also got a bunch of weapon systems that have all got AI controls and will blow stuff up pretty well. And they all have reset animations. And yeah, now I'm just tinkering with these. Oh god, which one was it I was tinkering with? It was this one, wasn't it? That's the one I deleted all of the walk gyros out of. Which means I can then repurpose those for switching the gyro override for flight mode. Oh, have I ever thought about creating an automated factory? I have, but I have neither the free time nor the brain capacity to actually figure that out. Because that would be like building a whole gigantic mech in itself. I mean, it's doable. Black Armor's done a couple of them. Yeah, I'm surprised by that, because I see stuff for Trailmakers and Scrap Mechanic all the time. It's always popping up on YouTube, on my like unrelated YouTube accounts, because I've got a couple of different things. But yeah, I see a lot more about Trailmakers and Scrap Mechanic and stuff in general on the internet than I ever do about Space Engineers. I only found out about Space Engineers through happenstance through another video game, because I used to obsessively play Elite Dangerous quite a lot, and people were always mentioning Space Engineers in the Elite forums, and I thought, I'll have a look at it. People are always talking about it, and I thought it was amazing. I was surprised that it wasn't more popular than it is, because it's got a really, really good building system to it, and a really good physics engine. It had its issues, it had its clang, but what game doesn't? But yeah, I don't know of any other games like Space Engineers where I can build something to this kind of level of detail, both like in terms of how it looks and how it actually works. So these flight gyros, I turned on 30 of them, didn't I? Which means I've got 16 left. What's it like with all of them switched on? Oh, hey Deathlock. Yeah, I decided to start making a biped version. Yeah, he's doing pretty well so far. He's still a little bit janky, but I always seem to struggle a little bit more with bipeds than I do other things, but that's probably because I've been making multi-peds for a lot longer. Oh, how do you even start? Getting inspired by something is pretty much the best way to do it. Like, because when I first started playing Space Engineers, I was just playing it like any other, like, survival crafting type game. and just mining and building bases and building ships and doing the survival routine. And like all the other survival crafting games I got, that kind of got a bit stale after a while. And then it was, I think, the first time I saw one of Black Armor's videos. I think it was one of his Zoids, or one of his Voltron builds, or something like that. I thought, holy smeg in hell, like, you can do that kind of stuff in this game. And then immediately the first thing I thought was, right, I want to build a Tachikoma. Like, if someone can build gigantic robots like that, why can't I build a Tachikoma? And then I just went on a mission refining Tachikoma designs and making them look better and better and better, and refining them generation by generation. Because that... Yeah, whatever. Oh, god damn it, I haven't got the mods in this game, it won't let me spawn it. Hopefully you can see that on your screen, if it's not too small. But that tiny little image there is one of my first Tachikoma designs, and then that's the next one up, and then that's the next one up, and then hopefully you can see these screenshots. As they go, they slightly evolve and get better and better, and it's just a case of refining stuff. If you want to get into mech building though, the simplest way is just to start figuring out how the mechanics work and thinking about how you would build a working set of legs. An Evangelion mech, you could build one. You could easily build one. The problem with anime mechs is they are designed to look cool rather than be sensible in any kind of practical physics or balance kind of way. The biggest problem you'd have with making one of the angels or something like that from Evangelion is balancing them, because they are very tall, very spindly, and very top heavy in their designs, with very skinny weird legs. You could easily build one. I've built giant things before. I've built a Mecha King Ghidorah before that might spawn, might not. We'll see. There we go. It won't it'll fall to pieces the second I spawn it into the game because it's missing mods, but you can easily build gigantic stuff and make it work. Like, this thing works. Although, like I said, as soon as I spawn it in, it's going to be missing loads of its vital components that are holding it together. There's lots of conveyor connections that are used as like the skeleton of this thing. So yeah, like that hinge would drop off the second I spawned it in because it's missing a connector there. But yeah, you can make big stuff. It's just a case of working out the physics involved in it. Center of mass is really important with building anything that needs to balance. So this one here, it is important to know where your center of mass is. As you can see, if my game would stop trying to crash, that big green dot there, that is the center of mass for this whole grid, and it is currently sitting slightly over the back of its central point. It's nice and in the middle, so it's fairly well balanced left and right, but it is slightly leaning back because of, well, all of this gubbins at the back. And if I fly over to one of the other mechs, you can see here the center of mass for this one is bit further forward. It's still a little bit off-center, and it is pretty much in the middle because it's got fairly even weight distribution. And that centre of mass is sitting quite low, so if it's going to tip from this point here. Whereas if the centre of mass was all the way up here, it'd be very, very, very top heavy. And when you've got things like quadrupeds and stuff, centre of mass isn't as vitally important. Yeah, no, the centre of mass doesn't really make a massive difference when it's a single grid, because it's just like essentially a single mass spinning by itself. Oh, don't worry about the tips, they're stabby. Yeah, bipeds are difficult because of the inherent nature of the way bipeds walk about. We are inherently unstable on our feet, and we subconsciously use a lot of energy without thinking about it, staying upright. And there's a lot of built-in mechanisms in our brains to make us do that. Whereas things with four legs have a lot easier time staying upright because they've got something supporting them in all four directions that they are likely to tip over. Right, so that flight gyro, all that, where is it? Number 20. Right, I found you, I've named you, you don't need to be there anymore. Yeah, I've noticed in Space Engineers as well that as soon as you start adding more subgrids, the physics have a hard time calculating things. The more subgrids you add, the wobblier stuff gets. And increasing the torque on things doesn't really help much. Unless you can set stuff up in a way that you can have like a double hinge setup. But yeah, too many subgrids and things start getting weird. Like the neck on that Mecha King Ghidorah that I've got, those heads flail around quite manically when they're active. Yeah. Where's my little Jameson bot? There you are, stuck in a pile of wheels. Come here. There you go. Right, I need to go and quickly grab a cup of tea. And have a quick bathroom break. So, you all can just watch my Tachikoma follow me around for a minute. And I'll be back in like 5 minutes. Right, back again. Fresh cup of tea in hand. And I floated up and away from my Mac. Hello, Jameson bot. Come on then. Let's go finish fiddling with this thing. Why do I start building that? Get rid of that. That's some trash that can get deleted. When I was building the guns that I still haven't got round to testing out yet. Because I've spent lots of time messing with these feet. Right, so an idea I had. I was getting all these signals. There we go. An idea I had whilst I was making my cup of tea. Earl Grey hot. Much like Captain Picard. I hated the taste of it as a child, and then as I got older, it has become the only tea I ever drink. And I drink it so obsessively that I have multiple stashes of it everywhere. Even at my friends' houses and at work. I'm a little bit addicted to Earl Grey. So, the idea I had whilst I was making my brew was maybe have some of them not on gyro override, because they'll still help with balance. So that's the first 6. So if we take... That's not the first 6, isn't it? That's the first 6. I turned it off on 7. So if we take the first... take last 16 of them. And that'll let me adjust my tilt a little bit whilst I'm walking. And I can use that. Ooh, no, this isn't going to work. Wow. That went weird quick. Yeah. Oof. Nope. Maybe 16 is too much. That went weird real quickly. Yeah, again, balance issues with bipeds. Maybe we'll just leave it on the last 6 then. Gyros, which one was it? 30, hang on. Got more gyros in there. Oh, what was it? Which ones do we do? 31 to 40. Let's put that back on. That went real weird real quick. Right, well, for now, I can spend a million years fine tweaking that walk cycle, but that works pretty well for now. I'm fairly happy with it. The other things I need to replace. I need to replace the flight control system because I ended up cutting that out when I was rebuilding the legs, because that was part of a separate grid. And that is what I can pack into the space down here. Because I have retrofitted this design into the Mark III, and all of the flight controls were in the lower half of the body, which was a separate subgrid. I ended up cutting them out without thinking about it. So I need flight control timers. Because all of the event controllers I need should already be in here. They should be would be those. Yeah. Light control. Yeah, all those. Yeah, they're all still there. But none of the actual triggers are there. Which means I need to rebuild that. That's dull. Right, so that's the front. Hello, Jameson bot. There you go. Forever follow me around like a cat. So, flight controls. With flight controls, we need timers. We need one for each direction. And one to set everything to default. Realistically, I could refine it down from the Mark II that had an off switch for every axis. I could possibly boil it down to a universal off switch, so we would only need forward, backward, left, right, up and down. Ooh, I could jam them in there. Forward, backward, left, right, up, down. Yeah. Stick them in there, that'll do. That could be light, forward. Light, reverse. Light. You know what? That's going to annoy me if I put up at the bottom and down at the top. I know it's stupid, but it'll bug me. I can have right, left, and light, right. And then, hopefully, if my idea works, I can just have a light stop where everything resets to some kind of default position. So let's cut you out of the game because you're just going to take up needless space. I'm going to chop you down because I'm going to steal this rig to mount you on. You can get deleted. You can stay where you are. I will copy one of you in case anything goes tragically wrong. Yeah, cool. And while we're at it, we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of those clang wings. They sort of work, but they're a bit janky. Right, so I want to set up these flight controls again. Yeah, still got the walk mode. Why is that arm wobbly? 7 million. 7 million. That's the issue with multiple subgrids in a big chain. Things will start wobbling and doing weird stuff occasionally. Right, so that's that off. I turn flight mode back on. It's got nothing to do. I need fuel. Will you let me get away with doing this one thing? Yes, you will. Right, cool, okay. So, that has just kicked in, and it's attempting to refuel, because it's still got a refueling system from the last model. So let's stick that back there and give it something to refuel with. Because my flight system kind of relies on a hybrid hydrogen and atmospheric thruster setup. So even though like 90% of the thrusters are all Atmos, its control system is is hydrogen. For reasons. So I need... Got one. Yes. Stick a bunch of them in a row. And that should fill the tanks pretty damn quickly. Container. Slap a big one on there. I think that's the right orientation. Yeah, sound. Cool. Where's the ice? Stick a load of that in there. Oh, that'll do. You do control the hydrogen tanks. Oil. On. Okay, that's kicked in, but it's not actually... Oh, it's done the main tank. Well, that's because I replaced all the other tanks. Yeah, because that's the old one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ah, damn, I've got too many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, that's fine. That's just enough. Because you only get 9 slots in an event controller. That annoys the crap out of me. So, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, on and off and on and off, and one last one, stockpile on and off. Stockpile back on all of them, so like it should be. Right, that'll fill up in a minute. Yeah, it's a magnetic plate. Used for parking, no. Right, it's not disconnected that, but not dropped me to the floor. Cool. We can work with 50% tanks for now. So, I need to make sure all of this other stuff works, like all the jetpack lights. Do all the jetpack lights still work? I don't think so. Oh no, that one's working. Oh, that's firing. Okay. What about the rotor lights? Ah yes, the rotor lights all still work. Sound. Oh, right. We can play with this stupid nonsense then. So, our flight forward controller is still set up with all of those things. Cool. Right, so we just need to set this up with flight forward, which will turn on and turn off when the thruster is activated and trigger. And then we will have a flight stop control, which will reset everything back to some kind of default position. Turned off when the thruster is activated, turned on when it deactivates, and triggers when it deactivates. So, the flight forward controller, or the flight forward timer, is pretty much going to be more or less a binary sequence of lights turning on and off, because all of these little cyan lights that are dotted around the mech all control the part of the body that they're attached to, so they'll move the nearest hinge or rotor associated with them. So to get different positions, I just need to turn things on and off. So, for instance, if I was flying forwards in the position I'm currently in, it would look cool if maybe my actually, before we start messing with that, let's quickly set up the default position, which is more or less the position that the mech is in at the moment. So we just need to replicate that. So the first thing we should do is the leg lights. Realistically. Or, no, because we're going to need to trigger thrusters. We'll do the arms first, because they don't really do much other than just move about and look cool, so that would be on. That would be off, apparently. The left hinge shoulder be off. And the rotor is on, so we'll copy that again for the other arm, so it's on, off, off, and on. So when we stop flying, the arms will now reset to the position they are currently in. And then we've also got hand rotors. And they are both switched on. Yeah. And we've also got the fingers, which will pretty much need to be permanently closed at the moment because he's got the gun attached. So that is everything related to the arms. Then the next thing will be legs. Now, I want him to have a cool flying position. To be honest, man. Oh God. What I was about to say. I nearly coughed to death. To be honest, this lighting system that I've come up with makes things so much easier. Trying to like program complex stuff than trying to remember what direction each hinge is pointing and what velocities I need to do to get it to point in the right direction. It's literally a case of flick a light on and off. On is forwards, off is backwards, and then I've just got to remember in my head like which way I think forward and backwards is in relation to each part of the body. But this system makes it so much easier to do stuff. You've just got to set up an event controller and a light for each hinge. It adds a bit of weight, adds a bit more stuff to your build, but unless you want to use a script to program all that stuff, this is the best way I've found of doing it. So we want the leg lights, so I want to keep the left leg more or less in its current position, but I want that foot to pitch forward. Yeah, it is like puzzle solving, especially when you boil it down like to a system like this where you're just turning lights on and off. If you have a problem, it's because you've not turned on or off the right light, and it makes it so much easier to troubleshoot stuff rather than sifting through layers and layers and layers of commands and trying to work out what hinge you've messed up somewhere. But yeah, it's a bit long-winded, but it means you've got a really simple system for doing this kind of stuff. So for the other leg, we'll have it point backwards. We'll have the leg straighten out, maybe. And we'll have that foot pitch backwards as well. So when I hit forwards, does that. Why have you not? Well, that sort of worked, but it's not returning properly. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't seen more people do it. To be honest, the reason I started using lights is I wanted a visual indicator as well that a system was working. Because the idea I had was basically this: like, I have a block that I can just turn on and off and use as like a binary action. And I was trying to decide what kind of block to use, and I just thought use a light, because then I can see what it's doing as well. I can see the on and off, I can see the 1 and the 0, essentially. Well, I need to figure out what I've screwed up here. Off, on, stop, on, off. Why is that not doing what it should be doing? Light control off. Trigger. Oh wait, not that one. Hang on, I just turned it. I've just turned everything off. Lights control. What have I done this? Where has it gone? Flight, stop. What are you doing? Oh. I've changed the wrong one. That's why. On. Off. Yes, did. Change the wrong one like a dumbass. So I was too busy chatting and not paying attention to what I was clicking on. So that wants to be off. That wants to be off. Flight forward. Yeah, that's why, because I was dumbass, I was chatting too much bollocks, and I wasn't actually paying attention to what I was doing. Oh, sorry, I didn't see all your messages there. Oh, the WSD, the my vanilla control system. Yeah, again, that was something I kind of stumbled upon, because I wanted, again, it's because I was trying to reverse engineer the way, like all these control scripts that everyone uses. I was trying to kind of reverse engineer them to like be vanilla style, and I'd figured out how to do some stuff, but I hadn't figured out how to actually make it move. And I realised that there's thrusters in there, like right at the bottom of the list, where I hadn't really looked and hadn't really thought. There was thruster power, and it's just like, right, well there you go. That is a block that can translate controller inputs into stuff in game. So there you go. That's it. Thank you for the compliment. Maybe, I don't know. To be honest, I've taken quite a few notes from Black Armor's stuff over the years, so I wouldn't be surprised. And to be honest, half the reason I started doing these build streams is because I watched like the first 2 or 3 parts of Black Armor's How to Build a Mech series that he started doing, and then he dropped off the Space Engineers scene and never did the final one on how to set up the legs and timers and things like that. So I was just like, oh well, I'll have to figure out how to do it myself then, won't I? Right, so let's set up the right block this time. Arm lights. So when we fly forward, we want our arms to move forward. So I would like the let's say, let's keep the arms straight for now. Turn that rotor on. We will bring the arm down and we will move it forward. Oh, cheers, man. It's nice to think people hold my building nonsense in such high regard. Right, why is my phone not charging? I need that for my internet. Thank you. There we go. Hello, tiny cat. Do you want to get involved? Come on. Yes, come on. Just don't mess up my microphone cord. There you go. You happy now? Yes. Demanding, madam. Trying to do stuff. What was I doing? Oh yeah, so we want the arms to move forward and maybe keep them straight. Yeah, I heard he basically went and got a proper grown-up life, so I'm not surprised that he's not playing video games anymore like the rest of us, But yeah, his stuff was very, very, very inspirational to me when I first started doing this kind of stuff. I will admit to downloading quite a few of his mechs and tearing them to pieces and reverse engineering them and figuring out how he was doing stuff. And then adding my own ideas. Like, I'd be quite interested to see what he'd do these days with event controllers themselves, like, because event controllers were pretty revolutionary to me, because it meant I didn't have to rely on precisely configured sequences of timers that I hope don't get messed up in any way or at any point or interrupted. With event controllers you can automate so much stuff now. Like, I very rarely use timers like in sequence to like trigger stuff with like certain time delays in them. Usually I'm using timers to trigger multiple actions at the same time because event blocks don't have enough slots in them. Right, so we've done the arms. We'll do the hand lights. We'll turn them off, maybe, and we'll make sure the finger lights are closed. Nice. Well, there you go. That's a nice trade. Technical skills for design skills. Because they are two quite drastically different design sets. Like, it's a steep learning curve for both. Like I was saying before, with my early Tachikomas and stuff like that, they looked horrible compared to what they look like now and how they work. But it's just a slow process. And greebling is like 90% knowing what shapes go together well. Once you figure out what shapes can go together well, you're in a much better place. So leg lights. This is the one I wanted to set up properly. So I want that forwards. I want that. I want leg light 2 off. I want leg light 3 on, so the foot is pointing forwards, but that left leg is still bent like that. This one, I want the leg to move backwards. I want it to be straight, so I'm going to turn that light on, and I want the foot to pitch backwards, so I'm going to turn that on. So now, when I hit forwards, it'll do that. And when I let go of the button, it'll do that. And it's a case of doing something like that. Ooh, let's make those elbow hinges bend, actually. So, flight, forward. So yeah, this is why having the light system makes things so much easier, because I want those arm hinges, the elbows, to bend forwards as it moves. So it's a case of now finding the left elbow hinge and turning that light off on both arms. And now, when he flies forwards, he'll slap his guns together like a dumbass. So, let's make the elbows pitch outwards when it goes forward. So we'll turn off those two lights. Yeah, you can see flying up with the guns like that, that's a bit much. Looks a bit daft. Maybe if we don't... hang on. Maybe if we don't pitch the elbows forward. What's that like? That's a bit more sensible. The guns are actually pointing forward rather than pointing straight up in the air. Or slamming into each other in the middle. Then we've got our reverse flight controls. And that's a case of just sticking these flight control timers back in. So, flight reverse will turn on when the thruster fires and turn off when the thruster turns off. And trigger. And stop will do the opposite. It will turn off when the thruster fires and turn on and trigger when the thruster stops. We've already set up flight stop, so now we just have to set up flight reverse. So we want the arm lights to basically sit in the position they're in now. I just want them to pitch forwards with the elbow. So on for the lower half of the arm, off so the arms stay up like that, and off so they pitch forward like that. And then on, off, and off. So now when I hit reverse, the elbow rotors are moving when I don't want them to. Flight reverse. Elbow rotors can turn off so they stay pitched out. There you go, like that. Flight rev. You consider yourself more of a designer than an engineer. Well, that's it. Like I said, there's two halves to that coin, and designing stuff and working out how to make it work are again two very different skills. Some of my earliest things that I ever published on Mod.io back when I still played on my Xbox, looked as cool as I could make them, but I had absolutely no concept of how to make anything work. Like, all of my earliest mechs were all skimmers that just had thrusters and like zero friction wheels, and they all just glided around, and I had no idea how to make those legs do anything. I had no idea about like the torque settings on rotors and hinges and stuff, or the velocity settings, or how to do any of that stuff. It took a long time to figure that out, but yeah, reverse engineering, Black Armor stuff helped a lot. Nick and his ideas really helped. So we've done the arms, hands. I want them to turn off. I'm going to want the fingers to stay on, because we've still got those guns in the hand. And unlike my Gundam, I haven't figured out a way of making... I haven't figured out a place to store these guns. So they're probably going to be permanently fixed to the hands. but whatever. So when we hit reverse now, there you go, the hands pitch out. Then we can set up the legs, and then once I've got all the movements in place, I can figure out what thrusters I want to fire and in what directions. Oh yeah, because I also need to set up some controllers for the feet thrusters. So we've done the arms, we've done the hands, leg lights. So we want the feet to push all the way forward. So we want that on, that on. And that off. That can turn on. That can turn on. And that can turn off. So when I hit reverse, the feet go forward. That's flying forward. That's flying in reverse. It's flying forward. That's flying in reverse. And that's default floating position, hopefully. That's forward and backward for the arms and legs. Then we've also got all of these jetpacks. Oh, and I need to set up the thrusters I want to put on the legs as well. Because I'm being stupid. I want to add more subgrid thrusters, so for now, jet pack rotor light L01. So when we go forward, we want that to turn off, I think. Yeah, because on's the default position. And I would imagine I want... What's that doing? That's currently on. You know what? Let's turn them all off. Forward. And then flight stop. We'll turn them all back on. Jet light rotor on, and on. So when we hit forward, all those thrusters move. And then we just need to set the controls to turn them on. And then for flight reverse, jet light rotors. The big ones don't need to move because that'll be counterintuitive to flying backwards. I'll have them turn off. So on, off. So reverse, it'll just be the little ones at the back that point out to stabilise us a little bit. Yeah. And I might even possibly speed up the controllers that control the arms, so the arms move a bit quicker. And then we've got left, right, up and down, and also some turn controls. Because on the Mark II, the big four-legged one, I've got a control system in there so that when I hit forward, it just flies forward. When I hit left, it just flies left. But when I hit forward and left together, it will spin the turn gyro in the middle, which means you can have keyboard turning control mid-flight. And it works a treat on this big boy. So if I turn on flight mode, fly up in the air, I can turn the top off with the mouse because it's got some gyros in there. I can fly forward, I can fly left, and if I fly forward and left together, it spins the gyros in the center, and if I use the mouse as well, it goes real quick. But it means that I can fly forward, strafe left and right, even though it does need more side thrusters still. But I can also turn, and I've got another set of controllers that'll do the same for reverse and left or right. That spinning is all just keyboard control. That's me turning the top half of the body with the mouse. Yeah, he's getting a bit heavy now. He needs more up thrust. Yeah, there we go. I might try and put more thrusters in the feet actually. But I'll do that another time. I'm working on this other mech right now. But yeah, the flight control system in this, like the other one, that I'm playing with now, mostly all just rows of lights turning on and off. And those are the wings I was playing with. They got deleted. But yeah, it's pretty much all just lights turning on and off. There's lights for the thruster rotors, and then there's lights for the actual thrusters themselves. That turn everything on and off. So it's just essentially just a binary system, just lots and lots of stuff turning on and off in sequence. And if you set up all the bits and pieces you need, it makes it so much easier than worrying about what rotor is doing what thruster is doing what. You just turn stuff on and off and it works. It's beautiful. Right, so forward, reverse, forward, reverse. Oh shit, yeah. Oh, we're gonna add more thrusters to the feet. Hello, Jameson bot. As I wanted to do something like this. In fact, I might even just steal that entire grid. There you go. I can just paste that onto there. Hopefully. No, why would I want to go from the end block? God damn it, Space Engineers. Middle block, please. Why? Why are you trying to upset me? Why will you let me paste it everywhere? There we go. Oh, that was mid-air. That was not what I wanted, Space Engineers. Thank you. Cool, right. So, something like that. And that's got plenty of clearance from the foot. Because that's one of the things that I've ballsed up with this. Realistically, I need to chop the side off these feet. Because those thrusters are a little bit too far in. And just dust off the side of these blocks in certain positions. It really annoys me. Right way round, eventually. That's upside down. There we go. There we go. Right, something like that is what I wanted. Yeah, and that's got plenty of clearance from the feet, even if I bring those rotors in a bit. Yeah, that's cool. Right, let's set these up then. Because rotors seem to work much better for doing subgrid thrusters than anything else. Hinges, I've noticed, have a tendency to get a little bit temperamental when you chuck thrusters on them. Hinges get real fussy about the direction that the forces are going in. They're fine if you stick thrusters on the same, like, in the same direction as the hinge moves. But if I were to slap thrusters on the side of the leg like that, when they fire, it will start pushing on that hinge and it will start sparking and it will start clanging. It's fine if you only use little ones, but there comes a point where you're outputting too much force and it makes the hinges freak the hell out. And that problem is even worse with smaller hinges. Rotors, on the other hand, I haven't really had many problems with them in terms of subgrid thrusters and stuff. Because when I was messing with this mech the other day and trying to build wings on it, I started by just putting a hinge on there because I just wanted some bits to fold up and down when I turned the flight mode on. And the second I turned the thrusters on, those hinges started freaking the hell out. Share inertia tensor didn't help, adjusting the torque settings didn't help, adjusting the angle of the hinge didn't help, like putting it on a different axis, it was still freaking out. And it didn't even have anything attached to it yet other than like a few blocks. And as soon as I swapped it to a rotor, it all went away. All that clanging, all that sparking, all that freaking out went away. And then I tested it by attaching a hinge to that new rotor, and there still wasn't any issues. Whereas if I put a hinge on and then directly connected another hinge to it, the second hinge would be fine, but the first hinge would keep freaking out no matter what settings I changed. So I don't use hinges for subgrid thrusters anymore. I pretty much always have them connected to a rotor. Rotors also have a bit more freedom of movement for things like thrusters as well, especially if you want to make a VTOL kind of system. Like these thrusters kind of are. When you say VTOL, it's not really true vertical takeoff and landing. A ball joint block, that would be lovely, and you are not the first person I've spoken to that has mentioned that idea. Yeah, a ball joint would be game changing. Especially in terms of mech design, because the whole reason that each part of these arms has got a rotor and a hinge is because I don't have a ball joint. I don't have full 360 degree three-dimensional movement in each joint, so I have to make do with doubling up. But yeah, a ball joint would be absolutely amazing. So right, so we've now got these thrusters, which I need to quickly rename. L01A is what it can be. Because there's two per leg, so I'll have them as L01A. L02A. And L03A. I will have A thrusters and B thrusters for the inside and outside of the leg. Thruster light L01A. That is the thruster rotor light. L01. Actually, that can just be L01. The A, B and C, I only need them for the thrusters. I need to distinguish them from the other side. That must be leg thruster L01. Leg. What the hell am I trying to spell? Thruster L01A. That does need distinguishing from the other side though. That also needs not that much torque, that's too much. Yeah, oh, for God's sake. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 million, please. Because it is possible to have too much torque. Just as it's possible to have too little torque. And that's why you'll sometimes find things that are AI controlled jittering and freaking out. As the torque settings are either too low and the hinge is struggling to stay on target, or it's too high and it's trying to stay on target too quickly and too sharply and overcompensating and then flying back and forth, and it gets stuck in a little loop of just jiggling back and forth. Or at least, that is what all my testing seems to have come up with. So, thruster light, thruster rotor light. Oh no, that doesn't need to be A, that just needs to be L01. That's going to be L02 over there. Right, okay, so... What angles do I want these thrusters to sit at? Like that. Right, adjust that rotor so that the hinge is pointing straight down. It'd be about 30 degrees, wouldn't it? Because that's the angle the leg's on. Oh, it'd be 35 actually. It'd be about 35. Well, at 35 then. Set that back to 0. Give that 36. So it's nice and quick. And that'd point straight down, help us fly straight up. And when we reverse, it'll give us a little bit of up and a little bit of forward. If we have it like that. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. We'll just set them all up to be something like that. Yeah, I reckon that'll do for now. So, with all those settings, post them onto here and reverse them. That's the wrong angle now. So we want that to be minus 35. We want to reverse that. We want that to be 0. There you go. Cool. Oh, settings. Copy all. And that could be the L02 light. And that can be the L02 rotor light. So we're going to have one light to turn on and off the thrusters and one light to turn. One controller to move the rotors. In fact, I might just have one for both sides because I'm not going to get too stupid about it. Yeah, so I need to pop in 2 more event blocks. Where have I got space? Yeah. There they are. I'll pop a pair of them there. Oh shit, I need I also need quite a few timers. Because of the nature of how Rust override controls work. Oh, you're right, dude. Back again. So, yeah. Don't freeze on me, game. Don't do that. It scares me. So I can do that. So, that would be controller, leg, thruster. Leg thrusters, L01. That one could be leg thruster rotors, L0. Then that can be leg thrusters, L01 on 01. Because we need to chain two of them together, because there aren't enough slots in a timer block to get a thruster all the way from 0 thrust override to 100% override in a single timer, so you need two. You can have one repeating itself, but when you want to stop it and trigger something else that is controlling the same thrusters, it will cause you headaches trying to figure out how to get things to stop conflicting with each other. So I find it easier to just have two timers, one that triggers the other, go through the whole cycle in one shot, rather than fighting with timers that are all triggering themselves, and it's just a pain in the arse. So it's easier doing it this way. It's a little bit more long-winded, but it saves on headaches. Because I've tried using a trigger system in one of my other Macs recently, and it just, trying to get everything to fire properly in the right directions becomes a nuisance. Right, so let's get ourselves in a position where I can actually see this leg. See these rotors. So, leg thrusters. Right. So, leg thruster, rotor, controller, block on and off, leg thruster, rotor. I'm going to type it all out. Leg thruster, rotor, light, L01. There it is. 02. Yeah. If I'm using a single system, I don't actually technically need both lights. I'll just have number 1 as the control block. Leg thrust light L0. Oh, hang on, I picked the wrong one, didn't I? Oh no, I didn't. I'm being an idiot. Leg rotor light. There it is. So, first things first, we'll turn that on and off so it matches. And then it is a simple case of reversing these two rotors. Not that one. Oh, that's why I didn't actually name it rotor. Dumbass. I just called it a leg thruster, that's why I couldn't see it. Right, try that again. Leg thruster. Rotors. L01, L02. Right, there we go. Everything should be named properly now. So that will be a case of... go, those are the rotors I want. Reverse, 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 and reverse. So hopefully, when I flick this light on and off, doing something. Oh, I'm turning off on off the rotor. There we go. Yeah, that's what I wanted. On is like that, off is like that. And then the leg thrusters. Ugh, I need to rename all of that. L0. There we go. So this controller is going to be again block switched on and off. Leg thruster. Light. L01. That's the one. Turn that on and off. Not spell that right in the slightest. Light L01. 2, rather. Turn that on and off so it matches, and then it's a case of turning on and off that block and triggering it, and turning off and on that block and triggering it on the other side. And then we get to set them up, and it's boring. L0. Why is that only 3? We're appearing there. Oh, don't mess around with me now, Build Vision. Thank you. L01, L02, L03. Oh, because I haven't renamed them, that's why. Because I'm a dumbass. That gets to be 2A. And this will be 2B. Gets to be 2C. I think everything's connected properly now. Leg thrusters on. Leg thruster L0. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what we want. So we need to increase the thrust override on all of these 20 times each, which is annoying. Because each time you increase thrust override, it increases it by an increment of 1. Sorry, an increment of 5% of the total output of the thrust. So what that means is you need to do it 20 times to get from 0% to 100%. And I really wish, one thing I'd love to have is these increase and decrease actions increase by something, like by an increment of 1 or 5, 10, 15%, like some other amount that I can play with. Preferably 1, 5 and 10. Because if I have those numbers I can do quite a lot of stuff. I mean, if I just had an increment of 1 I could do a lot of stuff. It'd take a long time to get there, but I could do things a lot more precise. Because different things seem to increase in different amounts. Thrusters go up by 5% per action. Wheels increase by 10% per action. Hinges and rotors increase by 6 RPM per action if you're adjusting their RPMs. Whereas if you try and adjust their angles using toolbar actions, they increase and decrease by like 36 degrees per action or something like that, which is a bit of a huge jump when you're trying to change the angles of something and want to be precise. 36 degrees is a long way. It's quite a big angle. But the next thing we need to do then is leg thrusters. We want to turn this block. We want to turn on the next block, trigger it, and then turn this block off. Nope, not those ones. That one. Turn that on, trigger it, and then turn this block itself off. And then that means this block can't accidentally trigger itself again at any point. Then we need to do the same thing for that one. And increase all of these by 5% per action. So annoying. So it doesn't seem to matter whether you use a small thruster or a big thruster, small grid or large grid, it is always a 5% increase. And I'd really, really, really like a few more options. It's not like you couldn't make that menu much, much bigger. Make life way easier. Nearly there. To be honest, we're at 3 hours. Well, we've gone past 3 hours now, so I'm probably going to wrap this stream up in a minute. Go make some food, and then probably come back and do another stream in about an hour or so. want to finish sorting at least this half of this out first. Right, so that is all of them. Cool. So if we turn that off, we've got this on. Frigates. It didn't. Because the thrusters are turned off, dumbass. That's why. L01. L0 rather. That. Do, and that. Oh, what have I done? I've messed up some names here. L01A. Ugh, that's supposed to be L01B. God damn it. 2A, 2B, 2C, 3A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Leg thrusters. L0. 1A. One B. One A, one B, 2A, 2B, 3C. Why did I do that? Idiot. All I've done is confuse the crap out of myself. Right. Leg thrusters. L0. 1 A B C, 2 A B C. Right, that's the way it was supposed to be. Right, they can all get reduced. They can all be turned on. That's fighting that, isn't it? I need sharing actual sensor on. What were they set to over here? 5 million, that's why. Yeah, that's why I needed the rotor mod. Because 3 of them is a bit much. Yep, there you go. And this is why vanilla rotors are piss weak. There you go. And that is just fighting because of... mounted up here, that's why. You're not fighting it though. Whatever. Right. Well, 5 million. There you go, that made that rotor a bit stronger. So, leg, thruster, L01. Turn that on. Trigger now. The one on the right's being a pain, so it'll give me a false reading. But yeah, that is basically it. That has now turned all of those thrusters on to maximum override. Not to be confused with Maximum Overdrive, if anyone has ever seen that film. So that's that. And then, to do the opposite, we just need to set up the other pair of controllers, the other pair of timers, with decrease thrust override controls. But I'm going to do that on the next stream. And we will set up the thrusters on those legs so they move in the appropriate directions. And also need to set up the other directional controls. But yeah, I'm quite hungry, so I need to go make some food before I do anything else. But yeah, that's the sort of basis of my vanilla control system for all this nonsense. We turn flight mode off. Still got the old system to reset the arms and turn all the control systems off. And then nothing will move or do anything when it shouldn't be. Turn walk mode back on. Yeah, I don't think that heal was as beneficial as I thought it might be, but we can work on the feet some more later, and I need to do something with that arm reset system, because that's a leftover from when it had huge big legs to contend with. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this stream here for now, and I'll probably come back in like an hour or so and do a little bit more, because I want to set up these guns. I've built them but I haven't tested them yet, and they've both got one great big assault cannon inside them, tucked away, and it's all connected up with a hand and fully detachable. It's a completely separate subgrid. But, yeah, I haven't got around to testing them out yet. Been retrofitted from the pistols that the Mark II has got, which has got a Gatling gun inside it. But yeah, again, I'll set that up on the next stream. There's my faithful little robot. Maybe he needs to adjust his sensor settings at some point. But yeah. Yeah, so I'll leave that here for now, and I will be back in a little bit with some more mech nonsense. So I will see you guys soon. Cheers for watching and chatting, and goodbye for now.